Hey Tara, welcome to class today on Monday. And let me start off by saying that what you'll need today is a sheet of paper and a pencil. You're going to take some notes. And I want to congratulate you on your test. I hope that you'll listen to this heartfelt comment. You really encouraged me when I graded your test. I don't have the grade in front of me, and it's kind of a funny long story as to why you don't have your test. What I traditionally do is pick up your tests, pick up your papers from all the students Sunday morning on the way to church, and then I go home and grade them, and on the way back at night I return them. Well, last night after church was over, we had a fellowship in our one of our buildings. Our youth pastor's leaving the church, so we kind of had a little fellowship for him. It was like 8:30, 8:45, 8:30 when we left, and I didn't think anybody would be at Berean, and I had the wrong set of keys. I had my car keys instead of my van keys, so I had no keys to get into the school to bring your test to you. So I apologize. So what I've done is I have up here. We're going to go over your test today. That's all we're going to do. I am going to make it mandatory that you take notes on this, and I do want you to turn this in, okay? Now, this will motivate you to work really hard. We're going to spend a couple of days going over your test. It probably won't take 2 days, but I really don't know what else to do, because if I cover new material, then the seniors will miss that information. So, Michael, would you hand that yellow folder to me, please, over there? Could you do that, please? Thanks. Just right there. Thank you. So, excuse me, Tara. Sorry about that. But anyways, so if you get this whole thing done today, then I guess tomorrow you can have a study hall, which you know I'm not a big fan of, but it is what it is. So here it is right here. My son just handed me the folder. You got a 91 on your test, Tara. 91, the highest grade in the class. So thank you for your hard work. And thank you for studying and doing well. Let's go over the problems you missed, Tara, okay? So would you grab a blank sheet of paper, grab your pencil. Remember, the more we get done, I think we can do this whole thing today in class. If we can't, then we'll pick up tomorrow where we leave off today. But I think we can get this done today. All right, so in your notes or on your notebook paper, just kind of write number 12. Maybe you can try to draw the picture here if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. But the main thing we're going to do here, Tara, is we're going to find the surface area of this triangular prism. Now, I'm going to take this blue marker. Actually, I'm going to change over to red. I'm going to take this red marker, and I'm going to highlight this triangle right here, okay? Now, we're going to call that the front side, all right? Now, if that's the front side, I'm going to take my green marker, and I'm going to highlight the back side. Can you see that okay? So there we go. I hope you can see that. So there's the front side. There's the front side, and there's the back side. Now, if you'll notice, both of those are a triangle. And how do you find the area of a triangle? Well, 1/2 base times height, 1/2 base times height. Now, think about that for a second. If you look at this front triangle, I have a base going across right here. That's a 5, okay? And I have a height going up right here. That's a 2. So I would have 1/2 times the base, which is 5, times the height, which is 2. Now, by the way, can you see how this front face is identical to the back also? And so, I mean, if the area of this front triangle is going to be 5, which is what you get. If you take 1/2 times 5 times 2, you will get 5. Well, that's going to be the same down here for this too, okay? I hope you're seeing this. I really wish I could be there to have a object in my hand to pass around the room and kind of turn it and show you, but there's the front and the back. Now I'm going to take my marker, my red marker here, and I'm going to highlight this side right here, okay? Now that would be the left side. That's the left side. And I'm going to call this slanted side right here. I'm going to highlight in green. I'm going to call that the right side. Now some students would call that the top. I wouldn't argue with them. That's fine, whatever. It's just as long as you get all five faces. There's a total of 5 faces on this solid, okay? Now, so I'm going to go ahead and say the left side is a rectangle. And let's see here. Was there not a number given to you guys right here? I'm trying to see if there was. I think I might have cut it off on the test. let me see something real quick here if I can find it. Hold on. I think you can see all this on your screen, which is no big deal. I don't care. And again, I wouldn't be so I'm just kind of laid back about it because you're the only student in the room, so it's not a big deal. Wow, so I gave you guys a problem that it looks like it couldn't be done. How embarrassing and how humorous. Wow. Okay, well, unless I'm making a mistake somewhere, which I don't mind looking dumb, I do it all the time. But let's go ahead and I will add points back to your test, believe me. But let's go ahead and make a number up here, Tara. Let's go ahead and call this right here, this length right here going across. Let's call that 3, I guess. We'll call that a 3. Now, think about that. If this length right here is 3, then that means this length right here also has to be a 3. So I have a rectangle right here. This red rectangle is a 2 by 3. So this left side would be a rectangle and the area would be 6. Now let's look at the right side. The right side looks like a rectangle to me. I mean, look at it. Here it is. Over, down, over, and over. And of course we have a length of 12 and a length of 3 right here. And so the area to that rectangle would be 36. Now the only side we haven't really tackled yet would be the bottom side. We have yet to look at the bottom side. So with that in mind, I'm going to highlight the bottom side for you. And you really needed that number, didn't you? It's kind of funny. No wonder no one in the class got this problem right, and I apologize. Okay, so we called this a 3. Let's go ahead and change colors, a 3. So that bottom rectangle is going to be a 5 by 3. So the bottom side is going to have an area of 15. All right, let's add all these up. 15, 20, 25, 31. I'm getting 67, 51, 57, 67 square units. Okay? So that's how you would find the surface area of that solid. Please take some really good notes on this. I realize now you could not have gotten that right on the test, and I apologize. But what's done is done. Let's just move on. But at least we've gotten over the problem. So, all right, let's take a look at number 16. Number 16. Finding the surface area of the pyramid. Finding the surface area of a pyramid. Now, you're going to love what you did here, okay? In fact, I just want you to take notes on what I tell you to do. You do not need to write this down, so just watch. This part here I'm about ready to show you, don't write down. For number 16, you had the perfect formula. You had it exactly right. You had this written on you. I wish you had your test in front of you. I'm still perturbed about that. It's my fault. But you had the perfect formula right in front of you, and you filled in everything perfectly. Area of the base was 256, so don't write any of this down. Just watch. For the perimeter, P means the perimeter, you took 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16, and you had a 64 right here. I mean, you were cooking. You were the math student of the year. When it came to find the slant height right here, the L, that's where you made your mistake. It's kind of funny. Watch what you did here. You drew the triangle. You were so smart. I was so proud of you. You drew the triangle. Man, you were going to town. You were ready to get them. Math Student of the Year award. You were doing great. All right, there's the triangle that you drew. So here's the triangle. Do you see that? There it is. And I'm looking at your notes now. You put a 15 right here. That was awesome. But then do you know what you put for this side right here, Tara? You put a 16. Now think about it. If this whole side right here is 16, this whole edge, and you only went from the middle of the triangle straight out, that means this would have to be an 8. You didn't go across the whole rectangle. All the way across would be 16. You went from the middle across. So all the way across is 16, but you just went from here to here, which would be 8. So here's what I want you to take notes on. And again, I want you to turn this into me, okay? I want you to put an 8 right here. Not a 16, put an 8. And now let's use Pythagorean's theorem. And I think you made another mistake too. No, you did not. No, that was it. Everything else looked really good. So go ahead and take some notes on this. We'll have 15 squared plus 8 squared equals your hypotenuse squared. And so we would have 225 plus 64. Hopefully you're seeing where all those numbers are coming from. And then you would have 289 equals h squared. Now take the square root of both sides and you will get 17. The square root of 289 is 17, so that slant height is 17. So right at here you should have put a 17, and instead you had 21.9. All because you used a 16 right here instead of an 8. That's all you did wrong. That's it. You did really, really well. Let's take a look at number 17. I think you made kind of the same mistake again, I believe. Okay, number 17 says find the surface area. Do not write this down. Okay, just watch. You did all of this great. You had the formula just like this. You had this. You had this. For the area of the base, you looked over here and you saw the base was a circle. So you found the area of the base perfectly. I was so proud of you. Pi r squared, which is 113.04. You had that right. Then you had a plus sign. And then for pi, you had 3.14. And then for the radius, you realized the whole length across was 12, so you knew the radius was a 6. So for the radius right here, you put a 6. But then we come to that dreaded slant height again. Now you drew your triangle. You did. Here's your triangle. Down, down, and over. Okay, so here's your triangle. Now let me look at your test here and see what you did. Yes, same thing again. Bless your heart. You put an 8 here. Then you know what you put here? Yep, you guessed it. You put a 12. Well, 12 is all the way across. I only want from here to here, which obviously would be 6. So the number you should have put here was 6. So here's what I want you to take notes on. I want you to go ahead and draw a right triangle. I want you to label this 8 and label this 6, and then go ahead and find the hypotenuse, okay? You can work ahead or watch me. We have leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. That would be 64 plus 36 equals h squared. That would be 100 equals h squared. So 10 equals h. So your hypotenuse would be 10, which means your slant height would be 10. So the only thing you did wrong is right here where this 6 is, you put a 12 instead. I was really encouraged. You really knew your stuff well. I was very proud of you. Okay, number 19, volume of the prism. Now this one's going to be tough. I'm going to just tell you right now, okay? So do understand that. I wish I was there to give you an object you could turn in your hands. But see, right now, can I show you something, please, Tara? Don't miss this. Would you not agree with me? This is the bottom side right here. See that? There's the bottom side. And this is, I guess you can call this the top or the right side. But can I show you, if I had a rectangular prism like this, okay? Now watch this, please. Watch. Tara, do you see how this top face right here, I'm highlighting it for you, is parallel to this bottom face? In other words, they're on top of each other. They'll never intersect. They kind of just run, you know, they're the same distance all the way across. Like they're the same distance apart from each other, these two faces are. And they're also congruent. It's the exact same rectangle over the exact same rectangle. Do you see that? Okay, I hope you do. Because that's what we don't have over here. We don't have that, and that's not good. You have to pick this object up, Tara, and you have to turn it in such a way so that the top face matches the bottom face. So I'm going to do something here I think is going to help you. Watch what I do, okay? I'm going to take my black marker, and I'm going to change this from a dotted line to a solid line. There. All right. Now I'm going to take my white marker, and I'm going to make this my dotted line. Like that. Now I hope that probably doesn't help a whole lot. I hope it does. But what I've done, what I've tried to do is I've tried to make this my top side and this my bottom side. Do you see that? I wish I was there to, again, kind of see your eyes, see if you're getting this, but that's what I'm trying to do, okay? And so Maybe by putting those dotted lines in, it'll help you see it, okay? So anyways, this is the top face right here. So now let's use the formula we're supposed to use. The volume of a prism is area of base times height. And by the way, you had that right formula. You had it, okay? So all I want you to do now is just do this correctly. Now the base, look, if the top face is a triangle, then that bottom face has to be the same. It's also a triangle. So the area of the base would be the area of a what? Triangle. And how do you find the area of a triangle? 1/2 base of the triangle times the height of the triangle. So let's pull our triangle. Here's our triangle. And if you'll look, looks like this right here would be a 5. That's a right angle, and this would be a 12 right here. So what is the base of the triangle? Well, the base of the triangle is a 12. What's the height of the triangle? Well, it's a 5. So the area of the base would be 30. 1/2 times 12 times 5. Now the height. Let's bring the height into this. Let's see if we can see the height. Well, the height is right here. There's the height going up and down right there. It's 2. So the answer is 60. So if you could see your test, you would see you had the right formula, and bless your heart, you know what you did? This is so cool what you did. You said to yourself, okay, self, here's the bottom of this prism right here. So you took the area of the base, 12 times 2 is 24, times the height, which is 5, and you got 120, which is not correct. And the reason it's not correct is you didn't first, yeah, you found the area of the base. I agree with you. That's the base. But remember, you got to first turn the object in such a way so that the top face and the bottom face are parallel and congruent. But you had the right formula and everything else. You did really well. Okay, number 22, and that's the last one. I think you're going to get yourself part of a free day today and a free day tomorrow, which usually that's pretty much bad language in my class. We don't say the words free day, but the seniors are gone. There's really not a lot I can do for you, so we'll get back to the grind on Wednesday, okay? So here we go, number 22. Find the volume of the cone. Now, I think it came down to that wonderful slant height again, or the regular height. Okay, look at this. Don't write this down. You did all of this perfectly. You had this formula, which is exactly right. You knew to find the area of the base, and you realized that. Let me show you something here. Oops, definitely didn't want to do that. Well, you knew to flip this around, and you knew the base was a circle. You found the area of the circle, the area of the base, and you got, let me look here, 200.96, which is exactly right. I mean, you did really good. Excuse me for yawning. I'm sorry. It's by 11:30 at night. So you did great. Then the height is what got you in trouble. Now let's come over here. Here's your radius going across. Now here's your height. Here's your height going straight up and down. We don't have that. But what we can do is we can draw a right triangle like we've done many times. So your right triangle looks like this. And this is your right angle. And this is 8. And this has a length of 10. And we're trying to find this length right here going up and down. Okay? So what you did is you called this, right, I'm going to call it x. You called that your hypotenuse. Remember, the hypotenuse is always the side of the triangle that's directly across from the right angle. Whenever you see this right angle symbol, look at it like it's an arrow, and it points to the hypotenuse. So what you did is so here's what I want you to take notes on. I want you to write this triangle, please. Write that triangle in your notes, if you would. And then you did L squared plus L squared equals 8 squared, which you're supposed to. But you put an 8 in for a leg, and you put a 10 in for your leg, and that's wrong. The 10 is a hypotenuse. So it's okay to put an 8 squared here for one of your legs. That's fine. But then for a hypotenuse squared, you should have put a 10 squared, because 10 is your hypotenuse, and you're solving for a leg. So 8 times 8 is 64, plus L squared equals 100. And now we're going to subtract 64 from both sides so we can get L all by itself. So we're left with, these cancel out, we're left with L squared equals 36. Now take the square root of both sides, and L equals 6. So this x right here, this length of the triangle was a 6, so thus your height going up and down was a 6. So right here you should have put a 6. Okay? So finish all of your notes on that, and that's it. I was so proud of you on your test, and you deserve whatever time you get off. Seriously, I'm proud of you. And you raised your quiz to a 70, by the way. That's the highest you could get. So I know it's not an A, but that's still a good job on that. And you got a 91 on your test, like I said. And you'll see that test, hopefully, Lord willing, on Wednesday or Thursday. I'll get those over to you. That's it. Have a good rest of the day. If you did not finish this video for whatever reason, let's say you came into the classroom late, maybe the teacher was late, maybe the video wouldn't work, whatever, then just pick up tomorrow in this video where you left off today. I do want you to finish this video, okay? And we'll go from there. Thanks.